this meeting is being recorded. It is Uncle T. It is G-Rizen, and maybe JT Hayes is going to stop by at some point in time. We've got one man coming back from Miami who has crazy tales of ribaldry, I'm sure. And we got another guy in Uncle T. He's not feeling good tonight. He's going to have to battle through this. It sucks when you have to do that, Uncle T. Thank you for your intestinal fortitude of trying to get in on this.
Yeah, good to be back on with you two guys. Hopefully JT will join us. And, I didn't want to miss 2 weeks in a row. I missed last week, and I don't like missing this show. It's one of my, favorite, podcasts to do, and enjoy the hour plus I spend with you guys talking football and other stuff. So I did miss last week, and didn't want to miss 2 weeks in a row. And, I'm definitely not feeling great tonight. But, hey, like I said, I want to do this and get through some stories from G-Rizen on Miami, and maybe we'll talk some football, and then, we'll get out of here. But, good to be back.
Is it possible that you pass out in the middle of the show?
No, I am on pretty heavily medicated right now. I think I messaged you guys like 5 minutes left in the Rams game, and I said, hey, sooner the better. I felt myself dozing just sitting there with the meds. But, no, it's all good. Like I said, I don't like missing. I really don't. And I enjoy the show. So, yeah.
All right, G-Rizen down in Miami with a whole bunch of RPS people. How is the experience of Miami, G-Rizen?
I'll tell you what, I learned to it was a lot of fun, I must say. It was a really good time. That was the first ever actual DraftKings event I went to. All the other, 8 or 9 ones I've been to have been all FanDuel events. But that one was a little bit different from what I'm used to being a part of. And, of course, COVID kind of screws it all up because they were making everybody literally that's at the event, you had to test for COVID. Every day you had to do a nose swab and then wait for them to text you back if you were good or not, or an email, whatever, telling you were good. So, it was a little bit different, but the pool was nice. Everybody got to hang out, and we had us a pretty good time, that's for sure. But I will say one thing, man. I learned to appreciate $8 beers, Holden. When you're drinking $18 16-ounce Modelo's. 18 bucks, my friend. Mixed drinks were like $24 for a mixed drink at the pool.
Oh, in Vegas at the pool, not at the DK thing. Okay.
Yeah, at the pool. But even if you went in the bar inside, it was still ridiculous. But you buy 5 drinks for your buddies and you get the tab and it's $110. You're like, what the flipping hell? BOYB to those, man. I'll tell you, that's when we went across the street to Walgreens, got us a 12-pack of Corona and took that shit and put it in a little cooler and sat down by the beach, which was pretty cool. But I'll tell you what, man, they got some women walking around in there, buddy. I'll tell you that. There's some flat out unicorns walking around there. I mean, there was a few there that, you wonder, how's that 58-year-old, 60-year-old dude with that chick? And then you just realize he's the one with the Ferrari out front. I mean, it was definitely interesting people watching for sure.
There are a lot of they just want the sugar daddies. What are those girls called? Those women called? The ones that they want the sugar daddy. Uncle T, you must know.
I don't know much about it. I did go to lunch with BigT today, and he gave a few nuggets from the trip. He didn't give a whole lot for Uncle T to chew on about it, but he did give a few nuggets. Said similar stuff to G-Rizen, good, good times, good scenery, if you will, real good scenery. And what's he flipping on there? What's he got, 100K in his hand? What's he doing?
No, this is fake money for my money gun. I just,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you forgot to tell us you hit big or something.
No, I wish it was real.
But no, he said you guys, again, you guys had a good time. He won the Cornhole tournament with, I don't know who the guy's name was.
He could have won by himself. He didn't need a damn partner. All them dudes, I was standing there. He wanted me to be his cornhole partner. We walked up, and I tried to get him to let me play cornhole with him. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it wouldn't even have been fun, man. I mean, I'm watching these dudes warm up, and they're throwing like one bag on top of the board. And I'm thinking, they were making a big deal that Big T's making 2 out of 4. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't know the field was that weak, G-Rizen. That's good.
There might have been 1 or 2 dudes that were okay, but they won every game by 15 points plus. I mean, Big T could have won. walked down and played one side, and they could have had 2 dudes thrown it. He could have just took all the points from the other dude, and he still would have crushed him by double.
Could he have won with Holden as his partner?
I'm not bad at cornhole.
Oh, I didn't say you were. I just said, could he have won with Holden as his partner?
He could have won with.
Big T's pretty good cornhole player. I definitely got to admit.
I'm slightly above average.
There you go.
Big T is very good at cornhole, but Big Uncle T, he could have won with literally no partner.
And then he talked about the scenery that you mentioned, very good sights, if you will, for the weekend down there. Not necessarily the place for a married guy. If you were single, you were probably in heaven, and then a place called 11. I heard about that. And then that was about it.
Yeah. 11 was an interesting one, but yeah, it's a good time though. We wish the RPS family could have had a little better showing than what we ended up leaving with. But the dude who won, we were sitting next to him, and he had himself one of them unicorn girls. So, it was good for that guy, though. Vasa or whatever his name was, something like that.
So I got some breaking news just into the show, Holden. Not to hijack your great hosting ability here so far on the Wishbone, but so I just got a message from Big T on cue from what G-Rizen just said. The guy that won the 2.5, he won 100K tonight on the 2-game slate. So Big T just sent me a screenshot. So he won 100K tonight. Looks like he had Hertz, Cup, and Goddard all on one team. But how about that? That guy, how good are you running if you won $2.5 million and then 100K tonight?
Isn't that what
saw his damn girlfriend? Yeah. You'd be thinking even more of him. Like, holy, she was.
He said he's his father. He said, but Masa is his father now.
I don't know, man. Listen, G-Rizen, I do know there's just a lot of girls looking for a sugar daddy. And Some of them just want to be, what the new thing that they want to be is a trophy wife. Now, it used to be, diss if you were a trophy wife. Now it is status for a lot of sluts to be trophy wives.
Hey, you know what? If they want to be trophy wives, maybe just ask their dude if, he wants to watch somebody really take care of her. That's all he got.
Oh, geez, G-Rizen. I don't even know what you mean. I'm just
he might.
What did he mean, Uncle T? What did he
mean?
Rich dude ain't getting
out of it,
done, right?
And he quickly escalated to watching. I'm like, wow, that escalated quickly.
If the dude wants to sit over there and pay me money,
So you are advocating cucking on this show.
I
didn't hear that.
Uncle T.
Don't make me laugh. I don't feel good.
Don't make me laugh, he says. That's great. That's wonderful. But seriously, the thing I took out of it is though, like here at home, man, like titty bar beers are about $8-9. And I was thinking I was paying double at some silly pool with no naked women. I was thinking this is not right. Like I'll be happy. I went out to dinner tonight and my bill was like $34, and I seriously thought I was getting a discount. Like, it's just ridiculous there. As far as I don't know how people live there. It's unreal.
But G-Rizen's rich though, so it doesn't matter. G, you got money. What I always say is we'll make more, right? We'll make more.
Oh, for sure. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, but that's what I took of it. It was funny to me though. Like you just go somewhere, you're talking. Because the big theme lately is inflation, right? And I was like, what? Man, I hit the epicenter here, man. This is nuts.
No, you were drinking at a pool. You're screwed unless you're smart enough to bring a cooler of whatever Mexican beer you were drinking that day. So that is wonderful.
So
Good job, G-Rizen.
Holden, how much do you think he tipped? He's talking about how big this bill is. What kind of tipper were you, G-Rizen?
Oh, man, at that place, they already include their 20% rate on the bill. So
okay.
That's in there.
Another 5?
So you didn't get anything on top of that?
I gave her an extra 20 on top of that. So
right.
Okay, that's not so 5% is about $20, right?
No, they already took their 20% when I got the bill.
All right, $20. That's good and very nice of you, G-Rizen.
Yeah.
Very nice of you.
Probably like a $40 tip, $30.
You didn't write anything on your board tonight.
I noticed the same thing.
Well, I did have something written up there, but you guys probably wouldn't have understood. But the network, our other network, Woodward Sports, we had a Stuff a Studio deal where everybody was coming in and bringing in toys, and we donated to the University of Michigan Children's Mots. hospital. We took a 26-foot U-Haul truck full of toys to all the kids. So
Very nice.
I thought that was pretty cool. So I had that on there, and I didn't think you guys would understand, but I raced it off before.
You go put it back up there, man. That's a really nice cause.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I didn't get to go because I went to Miami, but a lot of the other people I was talking to today that went, and they said that really good feeling to go do something like that. So kind of bummed I missed out.
It is. Saturday is Christmas, correct? So this will be our last show before Christmas. My question for Uncle T is, Uncle T, what's going on Christmas in the Uncle T house? What time do you arise and head out to whatever chaos or quiet there is in your house?
Yeah, holidays for me are always kind of chaotic. I have a big immediate family myself. I'm one of 8. I'm number 7 out of 8, so I got a big immediate family, and then my wife's family's got 6 in her family. So you're looking at pretty big immediate families, and then obviously our married in families, as far as like the grandkids and stuff. So yeah, it actually ours starts on Friday night. We'll actually go to mass together, and then on my side we have a kind of a big to do with dinner and stuff like that at my sister's house, and then we'll get up the next morning, have family Christmas here with my kids, and then go to my wife's side, and then we go back to my mom's side, or my side, Saturday afternoon into the evening. We got a couple football games too, right? On Christmas, I think, right?
Oh yes, we do.
So that's going to be really nice.
And basketball.
Yeah, love it. So, but no, it's hectic, Holden. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, my kids are older now, so it isn't as hectic and whatever. They all, they all 3 believe now. So obviously, my boys are older. My daughter's 12, so I don't have to worry about playing Santa at middle of the night or anything like that. So that's nice.
So.
What's nice is not have to move that stupid elf around anymore.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with that thing.
What elf?
Elf on the shelf.
Yeah, what about the elf on the shelf?
You know anything about it?
I mean, my daughter wants one.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I mean, it's fun like the first year, but then after that, 2 years in.
I mean, what does the elf on the shelf really do for a person?
It doesn't do anything for the adult. It's a pain in the ass for the adult. It's wonderful for the kid. They think it's some kind of make-believe little elf that comes and moves into a different position of your house every night. And then when you forget to move it, then you got to make up a lie to your kid to tell them why it wasn't moved from the night before. G-Rizen, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the deal is if the kid touches it, you're supposed to tell the kid the elf won't move. Or whatever else, and then it's good little leverage in the house when you say the elf's watching, because the elf's sitting right over there. But you got to move it around. You can do funny shit to it. If you Google elf on the shelf, like funny, people are pretty creative with it. So, but actually, what was funny at the end when I had it, my oldest daughter was moving it around for my youngest daughter, which I thought was great. But that's the worst part. Yeah, don't start that unless you want it to go.
I know you want to hit him in the face. What an annoying,
what I'm going to do,
antagonistic bastard.
Holden, I still have ours for my daughter because again, she just turned 12. She hasn't done it in a couple of years, but I'll send it out to you.
Please.
I'll send it out.
I see her again on Christmas, so
you can start it for next year. You got to do this. When's it start, G-Rizen? Like first part of December it comes, or then you got to do it for like 30 days. It sucks.
Oh, you got to do it for a month. Huh?
Oh, well,
yeah. I mean, you could do whatever you want, but I think, once you put up your Christmas tree and, get your decorations up, then it kind of appears. And then Christmas Eve, it basically, you got to hide it, make it disappear. But
why don't you like it though? It was
cool at first because it's creative and it's something to do to send, if you got other friends, you're like, look what I did to it, laying it and, a bunch of flour looked like it was doing a bunch of Coke with, you can put all kinds of, I mean, yeah, you can fix it all up. It's funny and, but I wouldn't leave it like that for my daughter, but it was just funny to, to show your friends at night, like, look what I'm doing to this thing now, or, it's just.
So this is kind of like the adult version of when you're a boy making 2 Barbies have sex with each other.
Yeah, pretty much. You can do whatever you want to this stupid thing. Yeah, I mean, you could leave
like
it
naked
in.
Twister or something.
Yeah.
Oh, Uncle T, butt naked Twister. Have you ever played that?
Naked. Just naked Twister. You never played naked Twister, Holden?
I have not played naked Twister.
I haven't either. I've been wanting to play, but I think it's a good game. I've never played it, but
G-Rizen, naked Twister. Have you done it?
Yes, sir. I've tried that a few times.
He said, yes, sir.
Thank God at least one of us did.
He said, yes, sir.
Tell me about it, G-Rizen. How was that experience?
Well,
What was the other guy's name?
Well, he was spinning it. So no, I'm kidding. But no, she had it all lubed up on the, we had the mat all oily too, so it was even harder. So yeah, it was it was a bitch trying to spin the thing. You gotta
Right.
get it with your toe. That was the bitch part. It would have been cool if they have an app that tells you what to do instead of spinning it.
Who is it with?
Well, it would be with the young lady that's upstairs right now.
All right, so with your current wife.
Well, girlfriend, yes.
Oh, she's a girlfriend. With your current
Girlfriend.
live-in girlfriend, common law yet or no?
Say it again.
Are you common law yet or no?
No, not common law.
Okay,
no.
so you and your non-common law live-in girlfriend played Naked Twister, and was there intercourse at any point in time, or was it just fun to do?
Oh, probably. I can't remember the exact of this festivities. I mean, there's been all sorts of different, silliness. But
The
I'm
only
going to
bad part
assume
about
that
this topic is that JT Hayes is not on here.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, how does that not happen? You can, it's just the way it works, right?
I don't think JT Hayes has had Naked Twister.
No, zero chance.
I don't even know what it would take for me to have a Naked Twister with some girl, because it seems like a lot of work, and then it seems really messy and slippery. Was it fun, G-Rizen?
Yeah, but we also had a blow up pool that we had on the ground that was, so the Naked Twister was inside the blow up pool, so you didn't get shit all over the place. And, you wrestle around inside the pool. It's good times. You get out the coconut oil and you have fun.
I can't believe I brought up this topic. It's my fault, Holden.
No, it's not. It's nobody's fault. This is pure brilliance, Uncle T. Soak it in and enjoy it. It's just G-Rizen is the star of the show tonight. You always have different members stepping up.
Star. What do you mean tonight? He's always the star.
Yeah, but especially
he was on South Beach for 4 days.
In any episode, one person is just going to step up and carry the mantle. And tonight, G-Rizen, that is your night. He's brought it. Story time has been amazing.
You guys asked. If I played some Naked Twister, I was just telling you I have.
Yeah. I never dreamed when I brought the topic up that you would have said that, yes, I have played it. Yes, sir, I have.
Just being honest.
Yeah, and this began with Elf on a Shelf. I just want you guys to know that. So it truly has come full circle from.
That's true. You mentioned Barbie and Ken dolls. Making them.
No, two Barbies. I was always a two Barbie guy.
I've seen the Elf on a Shelf getting busy with one of them Barbie dolls, and some of the people's Barbie's all shacked up with with the Elf on a Shelf. But yeah, if you Google that and spend some time, you'll laugh. There's some pretty creative people out there. That's for sure.
Okay. Sounds good. Looking forward to doing that. Probably never going to do that, G-Rizen.
You will, I guarantee it, because if we
I'm not,
you're going to do it.
Have legit zero interest in Elf on a Shelf now. You guys have talked me out of it, even though my daughter wants it. But you know what? She doesn't know any better. She's 6. Why could I not just start the Elf on the Shelf now and then just run it for the next month?
Well,
Tell me that.
Because it's supposed to go away after Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, well, they don't have to. She doesn't have to know that. You can
make up your own rules if you want.
Yeah, you make up your own rules. Say it was grounded. He didn't get to go back home.
Why is the holidays the one time when we just decide to lie to our kids? There's a true correlation between holidays and lying. So much lying to these kids. It's very sad.
I don't think the Santa Claus bit necessarily needs to be a lie. So when I was asked if Santa was real, my response is that Santa is real, and it is basically the myth or the aura of giving somebody something so that anybody can be a Santa. So I was telling her, if there's a family that needs some help and you see these people, they come up and maybe they give presents or help family. I would tell my daughter that is what the myth of Santa is about. So that, that's what I told my daughter. It's just about the kindness of giving people stuff. So
you lied to her with a riddle.
It's not necessarily a lie. Now, driving down the freeway and telling your daughter that the 2 garbage dump hills are where dinosaurs are buried, that's a lie. But, the Santa, you kind of got to spin around.
I got a quick message in Big T.
Why now? What happened?
He's all over Uncle T. It's bullshit.
What's going on? Talk it out.
I told him he's bothering the shit out of me. I said I'm recording the Wishbone. I said I'm sick. I said I'm sick recording the Wishbone. He said you have the immune system of a 90-year-old. I said thank you very much. Or like G-Rizen said, thank you, sir. Yeah, may I have another? I mean, that isn't very nice.
You do get sick a lot. Everybody goes through those spells. I haven't been
sick since February. That's 10 months. That's pretty
really
good.
You haven't been sick one time?
I've been sick one time since February when I got the shot. So how am I sick all the time?
Did you have when's your surgery? When was that?
January.
So all that shit happened at the beginning. You bounced back good in the second half.
Nice segue before we get into the football talk of the show. Yeah, you gave Uncle T a pretty good hard way to go in January for my elbow surgery. I missed like 1 day. You're going to miss 4 or 5 days next week.
Yeah.
The suits still haven't approved it because Big T knew nothing about it, by the way. Mm-hmm. And I said, look, I'm not sure who approved it. But
I talked to him on the air about it.
Be out for a few days. We don't have an HR
don't remember.
So we don't have an HR department, thank goodness.
Now listen, I worked the whole week with the COVID. I did not miss one single show when I had the COVID. This, unfortunately, is not a laparoscopic surgery. It's actually going to be invasive. You've got a hernia, a femoral hernia.
A femoral hernia.
Femoral, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Less than 5% of the cases are men, by the way, G-Rizen. I learned through this whole process that I do have a vagina. It's somewhere. I can't find it, but very few men get this. Like 95%
are your ovaries twisted?
Huh?
Are your ovaries twisted?
Basically.
Man, that's rough.
Yeah. So anyway,
I had double hernia surgery, as you know, last year, and it wasn't as bad. They They gave me this treatment where it was a nerve block treatment for like 4 days after, where I was eating had like different aspirins and then higher Motrin for like 4 days. So it kind of weans you down off the pain. I thought that helped. Some doctors do that, some don't. I thought that was quite helpful, actually.
So you had double. What kind of hernia was it?
It was just the double groin hernia, I believe, whatever.
Did they have to cut, or did you get the?
I got cut in 3 spots: belly button, and then 2 on each side.
How long were you gone for?
Belt side. I was down for maybe
4 hours.
3 days.
There you go, Uncle T.
Holden, do you want to know why he had to have that surgery?
Uh-oh.
It was all of the naked twister sessions.
Right. That's the damn truth.
In all seriousness, Holden, I hope things go well for you.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I was a little nervous about it before, but then I remembered it'll be fine. They
do that stuff so good now. I mean, with technology, even with stuff that you get done today, they're so damn good at all that stuff. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So
don't get a staph infection or anything. You're going to be fine.
So we'll miss you next week, and then JT Hayes is going to miss. He's on vacation. He claims for the first time this year. It feels like he's been on about 4 vacations.
Yeah, he's on a lot of vacations.
He said he's going to be gone. So I guess me and G-Rizen might maybe partner up with the young guys next week, and we'll combine a pod for week. What would that be? Week 16 next week, right? So
I don't even know if Kaido's going to be around. That'd actually be a good pod. You should have Rubio hop on.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and G-Rizen we don't like missing me and G-Rizen. We'll get a show together next week.
Done. If the people want something, we'll get it out there.
Just do 2 shows. Just do 2.
I'm not quite the quality of Holden's hosting ability, but I'm getting a little better with the.
Oh, G-Rizen. Don't shortchange yourself there, buddy. You're true Bob Costas.
True Bob Costas.
That's how old I am. Like, everybody thinks Bob Costas is on the end of his days, right? And here I am thinking the guy's still the best in the business.
He's pretty damn good. He's pretty damn good.
He's pretty damn old now, too. You and I are going to be on the same
side of this argument, Holden, because I think he's incredible.
He is, but he's old as shit.
He is. I mean, hell, I'm old. So
Me
Big
too.
T just said I got the immune system of a 90-year-old. That didn't make me feel very good.
Where'd you guys go to lunch today?
We went to a little pizza and spaghetti today, little Rose's pizzeria, and he had spaghetti meatballs. I just had the, pizza and fries, and we had some little thing of kitchen chips. It was good.
Kitchen chips. Okay.
Actually, his dad bought today. My brother bought. Big T's dad bought today. Yeah, very impressed.
Oh, that's right. You're his dad's brother, Uncle T. Ooh, okay.
You finally putting that together after a year and a half, Holden?
Huh?
Are you finally putting all that together after a year and a half?
Yeah, that Uncle T is
very proud of you.
T's dad's brother.
Holden, I will say when I met Uncle T's dad at a couple of the live events, but we went down to the RPS party. When Uncle T's dad showed up.
Not Uncle T's dad, Big T's dad.
Big T's dad showed up.
Big T's dad.
The competitive tension increased. Because he is like a competitor that tells everybody he's going to whoop their ass. He's worse than Big T. And when that happened, all the knee houses, you could just see all of their attention levels went a little bit higher. Like, the shit talking's about to begin, and so are the games. And that's pretty much exactly what happened.
He's not wrong.
Anything else you guys would like to talk about before we talk about the football?
I don't think so.
All right. G-Rizen's kind of rolling his eyes up there. He's thinking about something.
I was going to ask you guys if you saw Jake Paul knock out that guy.
No, I think that looks staged almost.
That's what I was going to ask you guys, if you thought that was staged or not.
It looked like it. I mean, I didn't follow it a whole lot, but when I saw it, I didn't see it live. I saw it on the, a replay of it. It looked like he put his arm down. Just, looked like he just opened him up to knock him out. I don't know.
There's a couple of shit shows the same night. You had that, and you had the Frank Gore, Darren Williams. I mean, what are we doing here? Seriously, just boxing is completely dead at this point. There's nothing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, when I was younger, you had the Sugar Ray, Tommy Hearns, Hagler. I mean, those were big deals. Like, they used to fill up movie theaters back then, like for the pay-per-views. I mean, shit, that's nothing like it is now.
Yeah. Uncle T, were you ever a boxing guy?
Yeah, I got into it a little bit when Tyson Woody bit Holyfield's ear. The one.
That was fun.
About and I watched it a little bit back in the day.
Yeah, it was
when
great.
Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. I'll never forget that too. It was like that was like the upset of upsets. Like nobody's seen that coming.
I don't think there is a bigger upset that I've ever seen. I'm serious. People are like, oh, the Jets upsetting the Colts. Okay, that might have been really big in the Super Bowl, and it meant a lot, but Buster Douglas had no fucking business winning that fight. And then you look at all the documentaries since, Tyson just wasn't ready, man. He just went over there, said, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. It was the middle of the night back here. None of us watched the fight. It was in Japan.
Right?
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
I know the
wake up and I'm like,
the biggest upset in that MMA history was last week when that Amanda Nunes minus 1,200 got beat by that lady.
Did you watch it?
No, but me and Big T had a good lineup going on DraftKings, and we had the 4 winners in, and then we had Nunes minus 1,200 favorite, and then we had Dustin Poirier, and both of them got beat. So yeah, we were set to ship some serious cash that night. And,
I seen that ending of that fight, that girl fight there. She and that girl there, she called it too. She's a battler. I mean, oh man, that chick, I'd have to call her yes ma'am. I'd say yes ma'am if she got mad at me. I would not be messing with her.
G-Rizen, I didn't ask you what your house is like for Christmas. It seems to me that it would be completely chaotic, filled with alcohol. Maybe a safety meeting at some point in time?
Actually, my Christmas Day is very boring because we do everything Christmas Eve. So Christmas Day, generally, my teenage daughters do not choose. They're past the getting up at 7 o'clock stage. So usually about 9 or 10, they'll open up their gifts. And then they'll get ready, hang out, and then they usually go by their moms. And then that's done for the day. But all the family gatherings are on Christmas Eve. They usually come over, mid 2 o'clock or so. And yes, there's a lot of safety meetings, a lot of Jameson being drank, and a lot of Modelo's and whatever else shit I got in the fridge. So, but yeah, good times. Can't wait. It's always fun.
I need to talk about Cooper Kupp for a second, guys. As we tape this just after the Rams victory and the Eagles won too. Cooper Kupp went for 9 catches, 136 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he's putting up the best numbers, and he's been doing it for years. Like Devontae, he's been hurt. So Devontae Adams, obviously last year was the best. We've seen Nuke Hopkins and stuff. And I don't even know how to ask you how to quantify who the best receiver is, but is Cooper Kupp that guy this year? Or is it still Devontae Adams, or is it still somebody else? One of you guys, talk to me. Is Cooper Kupp that guy now, the number one?
Yeah, I'll take it first, G. I mean, it is hard to argue. I think if you look back, he was pretty good last year, and he had golf thrown to him, and then he's just taken it to another level with the rapport he's had with Stafford. And the funny part is, as I was dozing off about an hour ago, waiting for this show, I was looking through the pricing for next week, and he's $9,100, and I was trying to figure out a way, not trying to figure out a way, but I was like going to come on and say, boy, that's $9,100. Why not just go down to $8,100, save $1,000, and take Justin Jefferson against the Rams, right? Justin Jefferson, Kupp, or Adams in some fashion are the top 3 receivers in the game currently, to answer that question, as far as from my perspective. But then he goes out and puts up another, 35 or 36, 38 burger tonight. I mean, it's incredible, guys, what he's doing. It really is. I mean, I was a hater early on. If you go back and pull the Wishbone recordings from this year, I was probably one that kept saying, he's too expensive. You got to fade. He's too expensive. But I tell you what, Holden, he's impressive. I mean, again, you still have Justin Jefferson again in the same game matchup, I guess, if you will, right? Minnesota Rams this week, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Minnesota Rams at Minnesota. That could be a real high scoring game for sure. And you got two of the best 3 receivers in the game. I probably would lean Jefferson, Holden, just because of his age as far as longevity. But current this year, it's hard to argue with Kupp.
But what about Devontae Adams? I mean, he's still, to me, he's still the best. The numbers are just down this year.
I'd say as far as consistency this year, you'd have to side with Kupp, right? I mean, DA's had
this
some
year
really big high ceiling games, but he's also had some floor games. I don't see the Kupp's had a ton of floor games this year.
You know what? I don't know if you guys have to remember this. Remember the olden days, we just basically would take like Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown and put them in a lineup, and you had an instant floor, and it was easy. It's like, who did we have? Was a couple years ago, we had Christian McCaffrey, and I can't remember the wide receiver, but there's 2 guys there's only been 1 guy you can do that with this year. Usually there's 2 guys you can build your lineups with and be like, all right, here's the massive floor. I suppose Devontae Adams is one of those guys, but Cooper Kupp has really been the guy every single week that I feel like has been that guy this year, G-Rizen.
Yeah, I think when you look at those 3 guys you mentioned, I definitely think those are the guys you got to look at.
Tyreek?
You throw Hopkins in there maybe. If he is healthy, but for me, you look at them 3 dudes, they're all good route runners. Devontae Adams has size, and Jefferson is the quickest of the 3. But Kupp, I think Kupp is such a good route runner, and I think Stafford is. I don't think Kupp would be having that season unless Stafford or a quarterback was his season. That second touchdown he caught tonight was all Stafford. That was a hell of a throw. If you saw that replay from behind Stafford, they showed. I don't even know what the hell he was throwing at. I mean, he just threw it to an area, and Kupp got there and got the ball. And I actually think if you look at it, right behind him, OBJ is going down to the ground. I think OBJ would have caught that ball from Kupp. If Kupp wouldn't have caught it, I think OBJ may have caught it like right at the goal line on the ground. So I think Stafford was just throwing it to an area where he thought somebody was going to get to. And I think Kupp is just such a good route runner. Like that first touchdown he scored, he literally sat there right in the middle of that zone and just sat there, and Stafford knew exactly where he was going to go. Now, whether that's communicated with those 2 or not. And the scary thing is all the other dudes you're talking about have been playing for a couple years with their quarterback. Kupp, this is his first year, so I think that's what's really impressive. And I think Kupp losing Woods, and for him to continue what he is doing is not even more of a testament to how good he's been playing, because generally when you lose that wingman, so to speak, you're going to start drawing all that double coverage, and he just keeps on going, and you can't cover the guy.
So to put a cap on it, and Holden, I'm sure you agree with what we've said. I'd like to get your take, but real quick. So I was going through Twitter about an hour ago though, and I can't remember who put this out, but it was kind of interesting. They said that Cooper Kupp is averaging 114 yards per game this year. He averaged 107 yards per game his senior year. Now, again, I know it's just kind of a funky kind of stat, but it is kind of interesting that, you know what I mean, his senior year, 107. Well, I don't know how many years he's in the league now, but this year he's averaging 114. I just think, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Again, it's not an clearly Apple's conversation. I thought it was kind of interesting to see that.
Well, if he gets hurt, the Rams are screwed.
I agree with that.
If he gets hurt, I'm going to throw my Super Bowl bet ticket right in the garbage.
The other game with the Eagles over the football team, my boy Jimmy Kempski is out in Philly. Over the last 7 games, the Eagles are out rushing their opponents 1,501 yards to 554. They have outrushed their opponents by 1,000 yards over the last 7 games. That is astronomical. And that's when that team started playing well. Real quick, before we do anything else football-wise, G-Rizen, is there a WNBA player that works for the Woodward Sports Network? You're on mute.
You're on mute.
No?
No.
Okay. She's really, really, really good-looking woman. I can't pronounce her name, but wow. She was on the Woodward Sports Network, and she's jaw-dropping. She might be in Indiana, though. Do you have an Indiana Woodward Sports Network?
No,
Okay.
I don't believe so.
All right. Well, if you see this woman, I think you will approve.
Maybe you're looking up the Wood Network instead of the Woodward Network, Holden.
Now Uncle T is just throwing in all of the sexual innuendo. It's disgusting. What happened to you, Uncle T? You used to be pure.
They don't ever let me on the morning wood on Sundays, so I got to bring up the wood on another day.
Why don't you ever stop by on the morning wood?
I should have this week. You guys could have used a hand this week. I know Big T wasn't on there. I should have come on last week.
Should have come on.
My chance.
Yeah. And Cooper Kupp facing the Vikings, who have allowed 46.5 PPR points over the last 5 weeks to opposing wide receivers. So you'd think there's going to be at least like 25 in there for Jefferson, won't there?
That game's only got a 48 total right now, or 48.5. I got to have a feeling that's got to go north of that, right?
It's a Sunday game, right?
Yeah.
I really, really, really like the Vikings here. I do not like the fact that you've got this team playing on what? Well, you know what? The Vikings played on Monday, didn't they? So
yeah,
maybe
I like the over. I'm going to go on record tonight. I like the over in this game.
You like the over?
I'd get it now. I think this game could go up a point or point and a half before now on Sunday. I really do.
Both teams on a short week?
I don't buy into that as much as most people. I just don't. When you got well, again, I shouldn't say 2 defenses that are bad, but Minnesota's defense, like you just mentioned, against the pass, they're bad. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's
going to go on and continue on with the receivers while we're talking about them, or
that's going to be tough for these teams that played today on Tuesday to bounce back on this weekend.
Well,
especially because they were dealing with COVID too. I mean, you know what I mean? Like they got guys missing for COVID. I mean, that's just going to be a nightmare to prepare for these next games.
What did you guys think about them actually moving the games from, how they did it, basically? I thought earlier, 2 weeks ago, when Higbee and one of the other Rams were out, they just made them play without them. They didn't move the game to accommodate. Now, I realize it was 2 guys as opposed to 13 or 14 guys, but I thought the NFL last year when all this came up, they said, hey, if you guys have an outbreak or whatever, I thought they said, but more or less you take a loss or something. Didn't they hold them? I'm forgetting that because I thought
they did in the preseason. They said you're going to lose.
Why are they picking and choosing how they want to move these games when, again, a couple weeks ago, Higbee and I can't think of the other guy that was out for the Rams that game. They didn't take it easy on them just because they had a couple of their big guys
not play.
I don't know.
The Lions when they took on the Broncos.
Yeah.
But the Lions suck, so who cares? This is different. Now you're fucking with their money.
Higbee and somebody from the Rams last week or the week before were out with COVID. And again, whether it's 2 or whether it's 14, I think you have to treat the games the same, in my opinion. But I don't know.
He missed again tonight. He missed this game too. I don't know what's going on with that dude. All right, let's do the rest of the wide receiver. We talked about the 2 big guys with Jefferson and Kupp. Why not talk a little Tyreek, any interest there, Mr. Uncle T? And then, maybe run down 2 or 3 you guys that you like right now that you're looking at, because, boy, it's going to be tough not to jam Cooper Kupp and Jefferson in there. I wonder if those are just the 2 high floor plays if you're playing cash. Then obviously GPPs, figure it out yourself. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean it definitely would maybe be tough to jam on both. We never know what value comes up. And again, with these games with COVID and all these yeah. They could be down to some of these teams down to their 3rd string running back that you can get for $4K, or receivers that you can get for $3K or $3,500. You know what I mean? So in lieu of that not happening, though, I mean, this guy's been really, really bad. But Jamar Chase draws the matchup that he just crushed earlier in the year in Baltimore, where he had over 200 passing yards and a touchdown, his biggest game of the year. Now, again, it was just the one game, and Baltimore is banged up pretty bad right now. If there was ever a game that you want to buy back in on Jamar Chase, it could be this week, $7,100. Don't mind him. And if you don't want to spend that much up, you can get a $900 discount down to T. Higgins, I think, in a similar matchup. I don't think he's got the long ball threat that Chase does, but I do like him. And then a couple other guys. I got Mike Williams. I really like the Chargers this week in the matchup in Houston. Love Herbert this week as well. I'll talk about him when we get to the quarterbacks. And then I'll just mention one other guy since JT's not here. His boy Amon-Ra St. Brown, 5,600. The guy's coming off some huge games, right? Huge targeted games, huge receiving games. And now he gets another nut matchup in Atlanta against the poor pass defense of the Falcons. So 5,600, I don't think DraftKings has adjusted him enough.
Yeah, I'd watch that play, though. Goff went in COVID protocol. So if if Goff's not playing,
everything will change.
I agree.
Everything will change. Yeah, beforehand, won't it? Yeah, that's just where we are right now. It's changing, and it's been really challenging. But again, if you pay close attention to it, you can figure out the angles to where you need to get to. G-Rizen, wide receiver, 2 or 3 guys you like.
Yeah, I mean, Kupp is so far ahead of everybody else. I mean, he's a guy you definitely got to look at. Lockett's another one I think I would like too. Against Chicago has been pretty shitty. He should be back, so I would think. I mean, it looked like Seattle. I think if Lockett's out there tonight, I think that game's way different. But Brandon Cooks had a pretty big game last week in that final. I know RPS has been laughing a little bit about Hunter Renfrow too lately, going back and forth with the boys over there. But that was another one there. And then, I mean, OBJ is going to be in that matchup too with Minnesota. He's pretty cheap. He's only 5,300 on DraftKings, so I don't think that's a bad price for him in a game that we think could have a lot of points. There's only 2 games that are pretty close to 50. All the other ones are, low 40s. So I think that game's going to have some guys you're going to want to look at. But in that Detroit-Atlanta game, I think Russell Gage is interesting for 5,900 against Detroit too. So I think that game has the potential for some points. As I mentioned, we got to keep our eye and see if Goff gets back. But if Goff's back, I think that game could keep up with some of these other games. And I do like Amon-Ra St. Brown, like Big Uncle T mentioned. I think that's a pretty good play. And then I do think Gage is pretty interesting too. I don't think the Lions really have any kind of answer back part of the defense.
All right. I like it. Running back, G-Rizen, let's just stick with you here. Is anybody reliable enough to just plug and play at this point in the season? It's been pretty interesting. You got a nice matchup with Eckler at Houston. Nobody's going to complain about that one, right? Fournette's out, I believe. Yeah, he's going to be gone. Mixon's not near 100%. Javonte Williams, extremely efficient. Nice matchup against the Raiders. James Robinson really didn't get a price hike, 5.9 against the Jets. Josh Jacobs, 6K against Denver. And then I don't know what you want to do with this Rams backfield. That'll be interesting. Can you just give me a quick opinion on that and give us a couple of running back names too?
Yeah, the Rams backfield. I think they like Michelle. I knew tonight Michelle would be the guy, and Tuesday, just because it seems like whenever these dudes are out for a few weeks in COVID, it takes them a little bit to get back into the groove. But there's a couple of value guys and running backs. Ronald Jones is going to be in there for Fournette. He's only 5,100 on DK. And then Carter, too, coming back for the Jets against Jacksonville in a game which Jacksonville's actually favored, which is kind of funny. But, I mean, he's pretty good. I like that kid for the Jets. And then high end, you're kind of looking. I think Pittsburgh has any chance. Najee Harris going to have a pretty good day against Kansas City. They're pretty weak against the run. I do like David Montgomery, too, for the Bears against Seattle. They've been pretty bad. I think that's the only shot they have is if Montgomery gets in there. But, Javonte Williams, I wish Gordon wouldn't getting his nose in there and get involved. I think Javonte's so good over there. And then they get the Raiders here. I wish, we could just jam Javonte in and sit back and watch that. It'd be a lot of fun. But, man, it's so tough.
Melvin Gordon's like a real life good running back, Yeah. I don't want the guy getting 350 touches this year. It'll come though. 1 or 2 years from now, buddy, we'll get those 350 touch years for Javonte till his legs fall off.
I mean, it's smart for these teams to limit these backs. We've already talked about it before. These guys start getting around 300 carries the next year. It's pretty much you're just waiting for him to get hurt. I mean, I don't care who. I mean, Derrick Henry's about as big of a running back beast have we seen in so many years, and he got all them carries, and that guy, he's out. I mean, it seems to come right hand in hand.
What do you think there, Mr. Uncle T at running back this week? Any top shelf guys you like?
Yeah, one guy up at the top that I'm interested in, but boy, he hurt my feelings a lot last Sunday was Najee Harris. I mean, he really – I had him in 4 of my 6 lineups, and it didn't go very well. He hurt my feelings, but 7,400. He is in a pretty good matchup against the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs defense has been pretty good the last part of the year, but where they will struggle maybe on the ground. After that is Swift supposed to be back, G-Rizen, this week? If he is, 6,300 against Atlanta is interesting to me if he is back.
It doesn't sound like he's going to be.
Okay. So a couple other guys I got. James Robinson against the Jets, 5,900. And then I've got 2 other ones. I've got Edwards-Helaire, who I never recommend, Holden. You know that. I never recommend Edwards-Helaire, but 5,800 against Pittsburgh. I like that. And probably my favorite play, at least early on here, as long as everything's good from tonight, Miles Sanders got, coming back tonight, had a big game, 18 rushes, 131 yards, had a couple catches. Only 5,600 against the Giants feels kind of light, you know what I mean, as far as the number there. Again, he's busted for us plenty of times this year, but 5,600 feels, kind of cheap. And then right above him, I actually go back up one, Montgomery, 5,700 in Seattle. I like kind of the mid-range. If I don't go up to Najee Harris, I don't like Dalvin Cook. I don't care for Eckler because I like the passing game in that Chargers matchup. So I'm going to kind of go in that mid, 5,500 to 6,500 range, at least as of now.
Okay. Quarterback, huh? Uncle T? Some options up here. I mean, I don't know what you want to do with Brady, with Antonio Brown coming back. Conway's gone. Who knows what's going on with Mike Evans this week? That's not good. You do have Pat Mahomes at the top. I don't know if you trust him yet. Plus, he's the most expensive quarterback on the board. He's coming off a couple big games recently, 31, actually, and 20 against the Raiders. So big game against the Chargers, obviously, 8-7 FanDuel, 7-7 DraftKings. Anybody you might look at moving down. We just saw Jalen Hurts go bananas. Quick turnaround for him from Tuesday to Sunday. But, again, he's only 6'4". So talk to me here about these quarterbacks.
Yeah, I've got 3 as that, kind of that I checked off for the show here. I think I'm going to pass on Mahomes and Brady. Probably. I think the Pittsburgh game plays a little bit slower than, Pittsburgh doesn't score, and they can run the ball if they get, I think their key to winning this game this week, I'm pretty sure it's on the road, right? In Kansas City. I think the key for them to somehow pull off an upset in Kansas City is to get the ground game going with Najee Harris, shorten the game, keep Mahomes off the field. But the total right now is sitting at 44. When's the last time you've seen a Chiefs game, even late in the year, really at 44? It seems really, really low, at least early in the week. So I'm going to pass there, Holden. I'm going to go to Justin Herbert, 7,200 in the matchup in Houston. Really love Justin Herbert this week. Stafford, 6,700. And, again, we talked about the wide receiver matchup with Kupp and Jefferson. Stafford, only 6,700, I feel like could be a good play. And I'll throw out one more. I don't want to take all G-Rizen's, but Joe Burrow, 5,900 in the matchup against Baltimore, where, again, on the road just, a month and a half ago, whenever that was, they just crushed in that matchup. And I look for Burrow to have similar results. I mean, Baltimore's they're ailing more now than they ever have been. And during the year, they've just got injury after injury. And I think the Bengals could put up another 30 plus against this Baltimore team. And it's a very big game, as you guys know, in the AFC North this week. So Bengals win that, they're gonna have a stranglehold on that division for sure.
I like that Herbert call a lot. Going back to Herbert, he's the number one AFC quarterback vote getter for the Pro Bowl. It's really interesting. I didn't know he was that popular.
He's a likable guy, I think. Yeah.
Huh?
That doesn't shock me. I think he's a likable guy. Yeah. Yep.
I would say so. G-Rizen, any Justin Herbert interest?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, most of the projections I've just looking at, he's at the top of the list. So Houston's bad. They're terrible. I think they should have their way with Houston. I like what Uncle T was saying about Burrow. I mean, he mentioned how great a game Chase had the first time against Baltimore. We just saw, 31 points in that last game with Green Bay and Baltimore. So I would almost expect the same for Burrow. I think he'll have a pretty clean pocket to throw in. But kind of just going down the ring a little bit here. I mean, in a shock, I actually kind of like Big Dusty old Ben here against Kansas City.
I was hoping you didn't say that.
That is Dusty.
I do. I mean, for 5,500, I don't mind that at all. I mean, he's going to have to throw the ball all day. He's going to be dumping the Najee Harris.
If you called him by his right name, I might have been okay with it. You called him it's Fat Ben for RPS purposes.
Okay, Big Fat Ben, fat ass.
Great call.
But yeah, I mean, he's got two games left. I think he's got one more home game. I mean, I don't mind him here. I mean, I'm not saying he's top of my list. I mean, if I'm paying down, I don't want to look at I'm not playing Cam Newton. I can't stand that guy. But I think Russell Wilson against the Bears would be interesting too at home. I think that's a pretty good spot for Russ Wilson.
Okay, we got tight ends. Do we need to spend much time on this? Kelsey's at the top. Andrew's coming off a huge game. Gronk is the guy I guess I'll highlight here just because – yes, Brown's coming back, but Godwin's gone. Evans will be at less than 100% even if he's playing. So he's coming off a down game too. I don't know why you guys would be completely against Rob Gronkowski, but talk to me, gentlemen. Where are you on Gronk? G-Rizen.
Kelsey's in COVID protocol, right?
Yeah, for now. You really got to keep an eye on it because some of these guys, if they're asymptomatic and they test negative, they can just come back now. They changed the rules.
I mean, he let people down pretty much the whole year fantasy wise as far as
too.
And he just went completely nuts in that game against the Chargers last week on the road. So I actually don't have him listed, but one guy I want to talk about because he's up to his highest price point of the year by $600. I checked it all going all the way back. Mark Andrews has been on fire. Last two games, 21 catches, 251 and 3 scores. Now, again, it's that matchup in Cincinnati. G-Rizen talked about it. We think there's going to be some points there. It is an elevated price tag from what we're seeing from Andrews, but, I mean, the production's been there. I think he could get there again. It depends on the build, obviously. We're talking about possibly double spending up at wide receiver. If we do that, we're definitely not going to have money. Probably not, right, unless we have a couple punts in there to get Andrews. But if we were, boy, he makes for a nice play. Couple other guys to look at. Noah Fant, $4,400 in the matchup in Las Vegas. I like that. Jared Cook, and there's no Parham, or however you pronounce his name, got hurt in that game last week. So now I think Jared Cook could be in there on a few more snaps this week. Only $3,500 in the matchup, like I keep talking about, that I love Herbert in the Chargers passing game. So I like Jared Cook. I'll mention one other guy, C.J. Uzomah, even $3,000 against the Ravens.
CJ Uzomah every week, you and Rubio, CJ Uzomah. It really is uncanny. You guys love that guy. CJ Uzomah.
He's always cheap. He kind of fits in there. Yeah,
why not? All right, Uncle T is done with tight end. It's G-Rizen's turn.
Well, if Kelsey doesn't get in there, Noah Gray is going to be the tight end for Kansas City, and he is 2,500. So I think that would be interesting. He might become pretty chalky if that's the case. But I mean, you guys are right about Andrews, but I will say if in a weird, this may sound funny, but if Huntley's not in there, I don't think I like him as much. I mean, if Jackson's in there, I mean, it just
still
seems
really
like Huntley
good.
relies so much on Andrews. It just, I think he's got a higher upside actually with Huntley.
Agreed.
But I think another interesting spot here is Noah Fant against the Raiders. I think that's interesting for 4,400. I don't mind that. Hunter Henry's literally pretty much scored almost every game at home, I believe. Maybe not the last one, but I do remember saying that here. He's only 47. And then Philadelphia sucks against tight ends. They're dead last. So you got Evan Ingram sitting down there at 3,400. I think is interesting too. But yeah, Noah Gray at 2,500 if Kelsey's out. I think that could be an interesting spot.
All right, we're going to finish this with two things. First of all, Merry Christmas. Second of all right, I'm looking at PPR scoring. So this is more of a redraft thing, but it's obviously very applicable to DFS. PPR scoring, okay? Points per game this season. Uncle T, give me the top 3 in order fantasy points per game PPR at the tight end position. Top 3.
I was on mute. You threw me a curveball. I thought you were going to talk about wide receivers and running backs. Tight end, wow.
We already did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Here, G-Rizen.
Yeah,
go
to G.
Yeah, top 3 tight ends. Let's go. Who are the top 3?
Kelsey isn't one.
Kelsey?
No, I said there's no way Kelsey's one.
He's not a top 3. Okay.
I would say Andrews is one. I would say Gronk is another. And then I would say, that third one's tough. It's not Kelsey.
Goddard? Knox? I don't know.
Here it is. I'm going to give you it right now.
That's interesting.
I'm going to give you number 1 this season in fantasy points scored in PPR and points per game, Mark Andrews. Number 1 at the tight end position. Number 1. He was really good with Lamar too, don't forget. Yep. He's just really blown up with Huntley. Number 2, 236 fantasy points, 16.9 fantasy points per game, Travis Kelce.
Wow. That's shocking.
Yeah. He's tied for the league lead in targets among tight ends with Andrews. He's got the most receiving yards of any tight end, Travis Kelce, 1066. And George Kittle in 3 less games.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
3 less games, he's up at 850. He's got 16.7 PPR points per game. And then the odd ones, Dalton Schultz and Kyle Pitts are 4 and 5.
Yeah, I forgot about how good Kelsey started the season. He started off weeks 1, 2, and 3 with 26, 27, 21. Yeah, so I forgot how the season started for him, so that makes sense.
Merry Christmas, gentlemen. I hope all your hopes and dreams and wishes come true. May sometime between now and the start of next December, my elf on the shelf arrive from Uncle T's house.
I'm gonna send it.
I'd love it. And G-Rizen, you and your wonderful glowing face. I hope you have a wonderful, magnificent Christmas.
Yep. You both have a Merry Christmas as well. Everybody stay safe. That's the important thing. And spoil them kids. That's for sure.
Holden, let us know. Yeah. Let us know how it goes next week. Seriously, I hope it goes well.
Everything's good. We'll be all right, buddy.
Just don't be playing Naked Twister for a few weeks after.
That's the thing. It's tough to fuck when you've got a hernia, right, G-Rizen? You know this, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not good.
It was raw. Yeah, it was.
It hurts.
I got to go get some more medicine.
All right, good night, guys. Simon, why don't you get us out of here?